All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Do Good, Sell Lot podcast, where we talk about how doing the right thing is the fastest way to build a business that lasts. And today, we have a hell of a show for you. We have Mr. Dan Burghardt with Dan Burghardt Insurance. Say hello, Dan.
Hi, everybody.
All right, brother. We've known each other now, what, going on 7, 8 years, maybe even longer than that.
Yes.
How did I meet you? How did we meet?
We were in need of a technician like yourself who's knows all the ins and outs of website. We had a website, but wasn't mobilized. And we reached a point in time several years ago where if your website wasn't able to be formatted on a phone, well, you were out of business.
All right. Well, we did. I know we did a good job. We're still with you today, but that's not why I was asking. So over the last 7, 8 years that we've been working with you, you and I have become very, very close friends. And we vacation together. We've gone on cruises. The condo in Destin. We have a fantastic time together. And over the years, you've told me some incredible stories about how you had humble beginnings and how you got started doing sales when you were a child or something. Tell us about that.
Well,
how old were you when you first started doing sales?
My dad was a big driving force behind, the motivation that I had. I mean, he was in the insurance business. He was selling burial insurance back in the 50s, back in the 40s. He was working for Union National Life Insurance Company. And that was one of the popular types of insurance back then, was to have enough insurance to bury you. And, $1,000, $1,500, I don't know, it was a very minimal amount of insurance coverage. And it was done by debit agents, agents that went out door to door and knocked on doors and sold this coverage, and then visited every week or two whenever the premiums were due and collected it. So he was had a massive debit that he built.
I'm talking about now. Correct me if I'm wrong. And you told me that your first sales job, you were 8 years old.
Yes, he also on the side was selling cosmetic line. He had a cosmetic line, and he wanted to do something else besides that. And he had me and my brother at age 8. I was 8, he was 9, and he'd put us out, drive us up in an area, tell us to get out and go knock on doors and get some interested parties. The simple canvassing door to door, just like he did.
You guys would, so you guys would just run to door, and as soon as somebody said, "Yeah, I'm interested," they'd be like, "I got one."
When you're 8 years old, you do as your dad tells you.
Right.
Get the belt.
So how old were you when you first started selling insurance?
I was 19. One of the youngest agents that ever started with MetLife.
Awesome.
And all of that came from a work ethic instilled by my father at a young age. It had dedication and passion toward your work. And I remember when I was a little kid, he'd have his staff come over to the house, barbecue for him, and he'd entertain them with Earl Nightingale tapes and Napoleon Hill. And at 5 years of age, I was like listening to these recordings. Of course, they were turntable. That's all we had back then. But I guess it had an influence on me. I would be listening to Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, all the fears that people are instilled with, and this is being fed to me at 5 years of age. And I didn't have to listen to it, but I was interested in what they were doing. He'd have 5 or 6 of his staff members come over. So my dad had a lot of influence over where I went and what I become today. And
today you have one of the largest. You're one of the largest, if not the largest, independent insurance agent in Southeast Louisiana. You have offices all over the place: New Orleans, New Orleans East, Mandeville, Metairie. Where else? Laplace. You have an office. You got them all over the Chalmette. But you didn't always have that.
No,
How did you tell us about how you originally started your business?
look behind me. This is my first office was at home, and
Yeah.
I was when I started. I first started with MetLife at 19, sold life and health insurance at a very young age, and they doubted whether I would be successful, even thinking even hiring me at 19. They said, "What do you know about life insurance?" And I said, "I'll sell anything you want. I'm used to going out and talking to people." So they gave me an opportunity, and I proved it by making first year as a top sales agent in the district. So
Mhm.
that that ability to go out, knock on doors, meet, greet people, get them interested, and I think the age had a lot to do with it. People like to see enthusiastic youths trying to
Mhm.
make it. They used to have them knock on our doors trying to sell Whirl's chocolate, the chocolate that the high schools have them push. And you always, when they open a door and they ask you for a couple of bucks, it's easy to give it to them. Just in case, and on the other hand, this was life insurance. So,
Hey, Dan, I need you to sit back a little bit. We can't see your mouth. You got there you
uh,
go. All right.
okay. So
I'll cut
anyway,
you.
everything just fell into place. But you have to have that basic training and initiative of wanting to sell. And
Right,
my
right.
dad was a good influencer on how to sell, how to get in the door. And I just rode with him when I was 5 years old on his debit. And so I grew up around sales. I mean, he did all kinds of stuff besides
Well,
Scotch.
nowadays, the whole sales thing is not what it used to be. People don't respond to the
Right.
same tactics like they did back
You
then.
knock on a door today and you risk your life.
Right. Especially in this area. But I know the website, like doing it online and the online rater and all that really helps you out a lot.
Right.
So I
You know,
was go
one of
ahead.
the one of the important things, and my general manager who walked in my office, my first office on David Drive, Dean Boss walked into my office to fix a computer and to set up a printer, and my foresight was technology. Like you said, you can go door knocking, but at this point, you need to move and progress with technology. And technology and insurance were forming a marriage. 1 second. And marriage I saw coming was going to need somebody to oversee it. Dean Boss I saw was make somebody that could possibly come work for me and technology bit by bit and install it as it started to accelerate at a high speed. I mean, it went from Novell networks to this to that to I mean, it he was right there putting it in force. And
Right.
as I saw we could open up other offices using technology, it would streamline the ability to run multiple offices using the technology that was being brought forth.
Right. So sit back a little bit more so I could, yeah, you got to see your face. Got a beautiful face there, Mr. Burghardt. Um, I noticed the other day I was watching the news and I saw that you had an interview on the news and they were talking about how commercial insurance rates are dropping. When was the last time you heard something about insurance prices going down? I didn't really catch the gist of the whole thing. I just saw that you were on there talking about how commercial insurance rates are dropping. What was that about?
Well, everybody's anticipating getting some type of relief on their insurance rates, and with after a storm, we've had Delta, Zeta, a couple of hurricane hits. It was 2 to 3 years ago. It takes a while for insurance companies to recover from that, and it takes a while for the reinsurance companies to gather back and reorganize their cash flow. So when that happens, there's a slow reduction in rates that start with reinsurance, and that
Right.
reinsurance trickles down to the insurance companies that are offering the product. And when they can get that at a lower price, they pass it on. And commercial insurance was the first to see a major 10, 15, 20% reduction. So if you're out there and own commercial property and you're not seeing your rates come down, you need to start shopping around.
Now, do I need to call your office and ask them to reevaluate, or are my rates going to automatically go down?
We're independent agents, so we work for you. That's the difference between being a captive agent, like a State Farm, Allstate agent, and independent. And a captive agent works for one company. We work for multiple companies. We work for you, not any one insurance company. So we're going to look at your renewal rate on every renewal and see if there's something that's just a little bit more better offer than we want to keep you insured, because that's our job. Our job and our mission statement is to offer all our consumers, all our clients, the best price at the best choice and the best price that we can find.
Right. Well, I know I've been with you for as long as you've been with me, and my insurance has always been, it seems to be lower than everybody else that's complaining about their insurance. So I have no complaints with you on that. But I see all the time on social media all these things. Oh, cut out the middleman, get your insurance for $49 a month, and this, that, and the other. What's that all about?
Oh, let me tell you that those websites and the Facebook posts that I see too, lower your home, lower your auto, you wind up going down a rabbit hole. You click, you think you're going to save money, you think you're going to get comparative rates online. You wind up being nothing but a victim of generated phone calls.
So they're getting you in a database so they can, I'm guilty because I saw that. I'm like, how in the hell are they going to get my auto insurance to $50 a month? And I clicked on it, and I swear to God, for like a month, I got 5-6 phone calls a day and text messages every freaking day. It was a hassle.
They're lead generators, and there's a lot of brokers and agents out there that buy these leads. So as soon as you put in your name, address, phone number, they're going to be contacting you. They're going to take that information and sell it.
They were relentless.
And you're going to start getting text messages, email blasts, endless, until you decide to just block them. It's not going to get a quote. You're going to get a quote if you talk to one individual agent, but they make it look like they're going to be shopping multiple insurance carriers. Even if the website takes you to another one, and then you got to load in all that information all over again. I don't know. You feel like you've been duped.
Look, you know what? I'm with the right guy, because look, and I can honestly say this because we hang out. How many we've gone on 3 cruises together? On our cruises, ladies and gentlemen, I learned more about insurance from being on a cruise with this guy than I've learned anywhere else. I mean, he is absolutely passionate. Even on vacation, this guy is working.
And I can say the same thing. I've learned a lot about social media, websites, what it has to look like. Brett definitely brings to the table the technology that takes this agency and puts it out there in cyber, so we can get a lot of leads from it. And
well, you and I both subscribe to the whole idea of do good, sell lots. That's the name of this podcast, the Do Good, Sell Lots podcast, because if you do good work and you're passionate about your work and you do good work and you treat people right and you do good, you don't have to worry about where your sales coming from, because people recognize that and people want to do business with you because they know you're good. And you embody that entire mantra, the do good, sell lots mantra. And I'm so happy that you're actually one of my best friends now. I'm glad that we met and I was able to help you. And you've helped me. You helped me with my insurance on multiple occasions.
Now, the good news out there is not only commercial property insurance is taking some cuts, and but auto and home are slowly starting to come down. There's been a lot of it's called tort reform or liability abuse, where there's too much being paid out on claims, and there's been a lot of changes to take that formula and reduce the ability for lawsuits to go off the charts. So and that's where your premiums are coming from.
Right.
The legal environment can create a massive amount of additional premium for everyone. And there's been a lot of changes to reduce that. And there's been some laws put in effect to keep people from driving around with a cell phone in their hand. You're gonna get ticketed. You get a warning at first, but that's one of the laws, January 1st. Do not hold that phone up or you're gonna get pulled over. If you're speeding in a school zone, construction site, heavier fines for that. They're slowly starting to take away a lot of the frivolousness, especially medical claims. You wind up in a hospital. A hospital always charges you an enormous amount of money for being there for, say, 5 to 10 days. Well, that bill is renegotiated by your Blue Cross or United Healthcare. But the problem was for years that the total bill was being presented in the form of a claim. And even though the company didn't pay out $20,000, they only paid $10,000. $20,000 was being represented as part of the lawsuit. So that's been removed. So that's going to be a substantial, and this is all took effect January 1st. So the other one is 51% at fault. As long as you're 51% at fault, you have no recourse to sue for anyone. That's going to save long-term frivolous lawsuits. So these bills are going to slowly evolve to keep our auto insurance rates going down, down, down. So that's the good news. Homeowners, fortified roofs, as long as you keep your roof up to date, it doesn't have to be fortified. Just, the old mentality of, when are you going to replace your roof? It's 15 years old. You're going to lose discounts. I'm going to wait for the next hurricane. Having a roof named after a hurricane is over. I had a Katrina roof. I had an Ida roof. These companies are backing out. After a new roof is 10 years old, it goes to actual cash value now. There's no more replacing roofs till you tear them down or the hurricane blows it off. So fortified and new roofs are going to get you big discounts. And also on the homeowner end, you're going to get big discounts for updates, maintaining your house with updates for plumbing, electrical, and new windows, and fortifying not only your roof, but fortifying your shutters, and other discounts are available to lower your homeowner's insurance rates. And
all right, I got one last question for you, as I don't want this podcast to go too long. One last question, very, very important question. Where are we going on vacation next?
I'm
gonna let you pick. Where are we going?
Destin Beach.
We're gonna go to Destin. All right. I like the condo in Destin. That's fun. All right. But I'm thinking for Mardi Gras, like the week of Mardi Gras. You want to go on a cruise? You want to go to Cancun or something?
That might be a good idea.
The phone usually doesn't ring for me around Mardi Gras time. Nobody's buying websites during Mardi Gras. So that's when I usually go.
Let's look into it. It's coming up quick.
Yeah. Let's when we get off this meeting, let's figure it out. It's always fun hanging out with you, man. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been fun hanging out here with my good friend Dan Burghardt, longtime friend. And if you need insurance, any type of insurance, any insurance problems whatsoever, you call this gentleman. You call one of his office; they'll take care of you. But for now, do good, sell lots. And we'll see you next time.
Thank you. Bye-bye.